What's up XRP holders? Guys, in this video I want to show you what I'm right now spotting here in the crypto market for XRP specifically, because yes, we had that massive crash yesterday. We also had a huge recovery back to the upside. However, we are currently still trading far below prices that we were trading at a few days ago. Now the big question is this what we're seeing right now? I would say a real recovery to the upside, or is this a bull trap? And will we see further continuation to the downside in the crypto market and for XRP in the next few days? This is what I want to discuss with you. And yes, I'm a little bit under the weather. As you can hear, I catch the cold, unfortunately. Bear with me here in the video. I will do my best to update you as best as possible. Hit the like button if this sounds interesting, and let's get into it. Okay guys, so this is XRP's daily time frame, and yesterday we had that huge crash to the downside to $1.25, on some exchanges even lower, and obviously XRP and the crypto market are currently recovering massively to the upside again. So I will talk about this. Is this a bull trap, or is this indeed a real recovery, and will we see a new all-time high for XRP anytime soon? I will talk about that. But first of all, I need to show you this very important metric. And this chart, guys, represents XRP's exchange supply. Now, what you can see is that XRP's exchange supply stayed nearly unchanged during the crash yesterday. Panic was driven by derivatives liquidations, not investors selling. And if you focus on this gray line here on the chart, this horizontal line, which represents the exchange reserves from XRP on exchanges, you can see that there was actually no change here during the crash. This green line is the XRP price, which obviously crashed to the downside, but no changes in exchange reserves. And this shows us that investors were actually not selling XRP, which is a very, very good sign. Now, also yesterday I made you aware of this bearish divergence on the weekly RSI, which actually played out for XRP. So here you can see since November or December, the XRP price continuously made higher highs while the RSI was making lower highs. So this is a bearish divergence. It shows us that momentum was actually getting weaker and weaker with each push to the upside, and eventually, yes, that did lead to a, I would say, almost 60% crash for XRP, and we saw the same thing in 2020, 2021. Bearish divergence here on the price, on the RSI, lower highs, higher highs on the price, huge crash. But what is interesting is what came after the crash, and that is a massive recovery for XRP. In 2021, this recovery was about 170% or so to the upside. So I also expect a massive recovery to the upside this time around for XRP. That is typically what you see after such a big crash in a short period of time. Now, also another interesting thing here is actually XRP's 50-week simple moving average here in the color blue. Now, if you focus on the left hand side of your screen, you can see the bull run from 2021, and XRP had that crash, as I just showed you, perfectly into the 50-week simple moving average, and from that point we saw that massive bounce to the upside in 2021. Now, if we look at the current price action, we're seeing the same thing here. XRP also crashed perfectly into the 50-week simple moving average, slightly below it, but what is important here is where is the weekly candle gonna close. And if we close at the point where we're trading at, then yes, we are holding support on top of this moving average, and then we can also possibly expect a massive run to the upside for XRP to new all-time highs, possibly. Another interesting thing, guys, and after this I'm going to look at the price action and I'm going to give you my opinion of what I think right now. But another interesting thing is if we look at Fibonacci ratio, so basically Fibonacci support levels for XRP on the weekly time frame, then what we can see is that the crash from yesterday went exactly, literally to the dollar accuracy to the golden Fibonacci ratio, the 0.618, at a give or take, I would say between $1.54 and $1.64 for XRP. Perfect bounce here. We also saw such a crash into this golden pocket in April, also massive bounce to the upside for XRP, and right now once again the same thing. What is important to understand for you is that the golden Fibonacci ratio, so the 0.618 Fib level, is always a key area to watch, and typically price tends to bounce from of that exact area. So that is what I wanted to show you. And by the way, guys, if you want to buy or trade XRP or any other altcoin, then I would highly recommend to do that over on Phemex, which is the first link down below in today's video description. You can earn a $250 deposit bonus when you sign up with my link. And basically, the more you deposit onto Phemex, the higher your deposit bonus will be. Phemex has very low trading fees compared to other exchanges if you use my link. And they're also an A-book exchange, which puts them in the same category as Bybit and Binance, for example. Alternatively, you can use AscendEX, which is a non-KYC DEX. You can earn a $1,000 bonus when you sign up with my link down below. Check it out if you're interested. Okay, so now I need to show you something very interesting on XRP's daily time frame. And first off, XRP traded above, I would say 272 here on the daily time frame for a long time, and that is actually the first zone that we need to break above in order for me to flip more bullish here in the immediate short term. Yes, I am bullish, but in order for me to absolutely confirm that the low is in, that we are going to new all-time highs, we need to see a break above $2.72. We need to get accepted back above this range, which provided massive support and huge resistance in the past few months for XRP. Also, if we look at the EMA ribbons on the daily time frame, if they load up, yes, here they are. You can see that we broke below the EMA ribbons, which is also not a good sign. It shows a lot of bearish momentum, obviously. So we need to break this range here for me to flip more bullish. But now I want to show you something very interesting. If we actually enable XRP's daily RSI here on the daily chart, obviously, and if we go back to the bear market low, which was actually here in June 2022, then you can see that each and every time when the daily RSI dips into oversold, so below 30, a few times that actually happened. As you can see, I labeled them with these white circles, and you can see that if we focus on this entire bull run since 2022, each and every time when you dip into oversold, you tend to see a double bottom for XRP. So here in 2022, it was actually a slight lower low for XRP before eventually a huge recovery back to the upside. Also here, guys, if we look at November 2022, the RSI dipped into oversold, so below 30, and eventually, yes, we saw a bounce, but also a double bottom, a lower low for XRP before further continuation to the upside. So what I'm saying here is that, yes, right now we also dipped into oversold. So either the bottom is in or we are very close to the bottom. But overall, if you buy right here or if you hold XRP right here, you should be okay here in the next few weeks and months, in my personal opinion. Of course, I can't give you financial advice, but this is what I think. And another example is actually here. In August 2023, we dipped into oversold. XRP made a double bottom, but this time around we made a higher low, but still price went up first. Then we went to the downside, but basically a higher low before further upside. And also here in July, RSI dipped into oversold. Price made also a higher low, and then further continuation to the upside. But had you bought here or had you held your coins over here, you would be very well off in the following months and weeks, I would say. So yeah, once again, guys, we dipped into oversold now. So either we are going to see a double bottom from here, maybe a higher low, maybe even a lower low, that is possible, or we're going to see direct continuation to the upside. But for me to say that we're going to see direct continuation, I would need to see that break above 272 here for XRP. Also here, if we look at the liquidation heat map, we can get a better understanding of what is most likely going to happen. Because yes, I said in yesterday's video and basically in all my videos that price goes after the highest liquidity. That liquidity was below us. We took the liquidity, we wiped out all the long leverage. Right now the liquidity is above us, stacking up slightly below $4. So it is very likely that sooner rather than later price is going to take out this liquidity. And lastly, guys, what I wanted to show you, and I showed you this yesterday as well, is each and every time on the monthly time frame when we see such a liquidation candle with such a big wick to the downside, it labels the exact low, the exact bottom, and usually we tend to see a significant run in the following months for XRP. That was it for today's XRP analysis. If this was helpful to you, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and do follow me over on Instagram, official link down below, guys. I'm posting additional crypto XRP content on top of the YouTube videos. Super important alpha. Check it out if you're interested, link down below. For now, I want to thank you all for watching, for the amazing support, of course, and I'll see you very soon in another XRP update. Bye bye.